historically speaking, the Celtics as an organization have a reputation for downplaying injuries, and then they turned out being worse, more severe, simply take longer to return, and it's guy after guy after guy. There's so many examples of it going over the last 20 years and as recently as the last couple of years. So this is not something that we just look back to like the new Big Three era. This has happened more recently with people like Rob Williams and others as well. So does that enter the back of your mind at all to where you say, okay, he should be okay, but maybe he's not?
Of course, and the same thing with Malcolm Brogdon. We've heard nothing about his elbow injury, other than he didn't get surgery, obviously. So you hope that he's coming into camp healthy too, and he's completely healed. We really haven't heard much about that. So, I'm sure the Celtics want to be as healthy as they can be, but obviously they're not going to they're not, like you're right. They're going to downplay an injury, but I don't think this is a situation where they're downplaying. I think it's probably a situation where he just signed and it probably wasn't worth it for him to play for now. Maybe does he try to play in the qualifying? Does he try to help Latvia get into the Olympics? And I don't know when those qualifying tournaments are, and if it's during the NBA season, absolutely not. So that might be his last shot playing with his home country and trying to get them into the Olympic Games. But I think the Celtics are just trying to be as safe as they can be. But we never know what's going on. Like you can't assume anything, Adam. You're right. You just, as we know, like I'd be very highly surprised if everybody in camp on October 2nd is completely 100% healthy. There's going to be some type of nagging injury. We'll see how Malcolm's the one I'm concerned about too, because we've heard nothing and he's angry with the team. So I don't think communication between the two sides have been fruitful. So he could just say, listen, man, I'm not getting no surgery. I'm just going to let this heal, and y'all just going to have to wait for me to let it heal. It could be somewhat of a protest for being on the trade block or something. I don't know, but you would think that wouldn't be the case, but we'll see October 2nd, or that October 3rd, when that first practice is, like actually who's on the floor.
Let's go right there though, because I think that probably raised an eyebrow for people out there listening. If Malcolm Brogdon, I would get it. I'm not blaming him, but if Brogdon's upset with the team,
he was. Yeah,
like how concerning is that? Well, that's he was
not happy. Now was that he was not happy in July? Is he the same level of unhappiness in September? We don't know. He hasn't talked all summer. People have tried to reach him, or he hasn't spoken at all summer. So we don't know. It's just like Marcus Smart. Is Marcus Smart as hurt by the trade to Memphis now as he was in July? No, because now he's kind of into being a Memphis Grizzly. He sees the future. He's excited. So does time let those things kind of dissipate? But yeah, like Malcolm Brogdon was not happy about the deal. He being potentially dealt. He was pissed.
New Fanduel customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube at YouTube TV.
I want to get into another nagging injury that nobody's really talked about, and only because you mentioned, a few of them, I was just kind of re-entered my brain because we haven't thought about this for a while because he hasn't played basketball for a while. But Jayson Tatum's had a wrist injury, what feels like 2 postseasons in a row here. And again, we kept hearing he's putting off surgery. He's going to let it heal naturally. Do we have any clarification or clarity on how Jayson's doing with an injury that's been nagging him for the past 2 seasons?
I think if he needed surgery, he would have had surgery this offseason. But the fact that he's working out with like everybody, right? And you see him that he's got to be 100%. I just don't understand why you would enter a season with a partially damaged wrist if it hasn't healed and that you need surgery. As we remember a couple of years ago, Jalen had his wrist surgery. The wrist is a very sensitive part. You land on it. Obviously, every time you hit the floor and you try to brace yourself, there's your wrist. So that's a delicate injury. right? So if I'm Jayson Tatum, if I need to, I need to have this procedure. So obviously he hasn't, unless he is just absolutely against having surgery. So as a Celtics fans, and you hope that that's the case, that he is healed naturally and he's ready to go. I talked to him at the Hall of Fame about a month ago. He seemed excited about the season. There was no wrap on his wrist or anything when I saw him. So I think he's ready to go. And I'm sure there's something he'll be asked at training camp about, like, how's his health, and he'll say he's fine. The fact is that it could be something that could cause some discomfort, but the fact that he hasn't had surgery, there's been nothing procedurally done to it, leads me to believe that it's not that serious of an injury, and he's played through 2 postseasons with it now. So maybe this is just something that he deals with. I would assume, considering that he's worked out, he's doing all these, deadlifting 900 pounds and all this stuff that you guys see, that the wrist isn't, a factor in him, literally trying to be, Charles Atlas. I mean, it's just like
he's deadlifting like 450, like it's nothing. He's just up.
Yeah, he's a strong dude. I mean, he's wiry, strong. I was impressed with Jason's strength.
Oh man!
With the busy fall season already in swing, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, can help you fuel up fast with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. Head to factormeals.com/newsfeed50 and use code newsfeed50 to get 50% off. That's code newsfeed50 at factormeals.com/newsfeed50 to get 50% off.
I watched that video. I'm like, he can add more weight to that. He's doing that pretty easy.
Yeah. I mean, and I think the fact that, and the working out with Pierce, and I think, working out with Jalen, and I think he was working out with Kevin Durant. So, I mean, if he's hooping like that and doing those things, I think he's ready to go. I mean, obviously, as we've talked about before, this is a humongous season for the franchise and a humongous season for Jayson. I mean, obviously he's going to get paid next year, so it's not going to affect his finances. He's going to be maxed, right? It's not any situation where he's not going to be maxed. But for his personal reputation in terms of being a leader, a star, the man, MVP candidate, this is a tremendously important season.
So I'm sorry, I got to go back because I'm just between Tatum's wrist and Brogdon's arm and Porzingis' foot and Malcolm's pissed. Like, this is real.
Our back, Kaufman.
This is real, right now. Like, our pets' heads are falling off edition of Celtics Beat right here, unintentionally. That was not the goal, but now I'm sort of stuck on Brogdon, like you were talking about his discontent with the organization, not knowing what it is right now versus what it was. Obviously, maybe he's sort of made terms with the fact that it's a business and he's over it and he's going to get himself ready for the season. But I don't know. Is there? I know we're sitting here in mid-September. Is there any chance that he's not on this team?
I would think not. I think he's on the team. I mean, I don't think they're trying to deal him again. I just think it was something where it was either him or Marcus, and it was Marcus. So they need him. That's the thing. It's not like
you'd have to deal him for a guard. Yeah. They
don't. It's not like they don't need Malcolm Brogdon. They do. So there's going to have to be conversations, and I'm sure there have been over the summer, to just say, hey, man, this is the business. I mean, Malcolm's been traded before. He was traded from Milwaukee to Indiana. He's traded from Indiana to Boston. So this is not something he's not used to. I think he's a total pro. He's 30 years old. But I do think I don't know whether he was not informed about the deal, whether or he learned, like Marcus revealed that he, was told a week before that he wasn't going to be moved, and he was moved, and he found out, his fiance found out, and he was asleep when it happened. It could be how it was relayed. It's an interesting dynamic there, but I think that, Malcolm's a grown man. I think he understands, but that doesn't mean he's not upset about it. So I was told, he was not happy with how things went down. Now, increase his level of mistrust in the Celtics organization. But I do think you eventually get over it. I mean, this is the new NBA. There's trade requests, guys playing for teams they never thought they'd be playing for. Trade requests don't go through. Things happen. This is the new NBA where like these things just don't happen. These things happen all the time. And there's, Jalen was mad about being dangled for Durant. Like, guys got to get over the feelings. This is the way it is. And it's not like they're not tough or I'm challenging their ability to deal with adversity, but this is the way it is. Like, you're playing for he's making $21 million, $22 million this year. He's playing for a championship caliber team. So I think he'll eventually understand, if he doesn't already, that, hey, this is a big deal. I got to make this happen.
New FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV.